Let me preface this video by saying that Wonder Woman 1984 isn't a bad movie, but it is a movie that is plagued with several problems, the biggest being plot holes and inconsistencies. The biggest one coming from one thing: this freaking rock, the wishing stone. For those who don't know, this movie centers around wishes. And when I first heard this news, I was a little concerned because just like time travel, if the story doesn't stick to the rules that it sets for itself, it can really pull you out of the story due to inconsistencies and plot holes. In this video, I'm not going to be going over all of the stone's inconsistencies, like the stone giving some people exactly what they asked for while giving others what they asked for technically, or some wishes being granted on the spot and others having a build up to it. Instead, I want to focus on the rules that the stone is limited by. So the wishing stone pretty much has 3 rules that it mostly follows throughout the movie, 2 that are said and 1 that is implied. We are told that everyone gets 1 wish and that you must be touching the stone.
Place upon the object held but 1 great wish.
And then it's implied that you have to say the wish out loud. Those are the 3 rules we're working with, and by the end of the movie, each of these rules are broken. So let's start with the least offensive one. The wishes having to be said out loud. Maxwell Lord makes it a point to tell everyone to say their wish out loud. And he wants people to specifically say wish.
And simply say I wish rather than I pray.
All the wishes in the movie are said out loud, except for 1. And it's the second wish in the movie.
So many things I don't even know what I would wish for.
Diana doesn't say her wish out loud, but it still gets granted. Kinda. We don't hear her wish, but I'm pretty sure she didn't ask for her boyfriend to possess someone. Or maybe she did. Regardless, I guess the stone is telepathic and can read minds or something. It would explain how Maxwell can hear and grant wishes from across the world. But it still begs the question, why he needs people to say the wish out loud if he can read their minds? And yes, sometimes he's trying to manipulate people so their wish benefits him specifically, but a majority of the time, he doesn't care what you wish for, he just wants to take something from you. So he wouldn't need you to say it out loud, he just wants you to for some reason. Anyway, moving on.
Everybody gets 1. Tell him, Peter.
Apparently everybody gets 1.
Except for 1 they don't. Cheetah straight up gets 2 wishes. 1 to be like Diana, and another to be an apex predator or whatever.
But you only get 1 wish.
But I, my dear, grant the wishes. What do you want? I'm feeling generous.
And Maxwell Lord even offers to grant Wonder Woman more wishes.
Sway.
If you're thinking, he's the stone, he can grant however many wishes he wants, right?
No.
He was bothered that his son wasted his 1 wish.
Then I wish for your goodness.
No.
And if he would give anyone more than 1 wish, it would definitely be him. Let's not forget, moments later, Maxwell Lord doesn't grant this guy's wish.
Don't you wish I had an audience with the president today?
Of course I do. And can I tell you how happy I am that you value my opinion, sir?
Wait a minute. Have I asked for your wish before?
Yesterday, a Porsche.
Despite it being beneficial for him to do so. And this is how not sticking to your own rules creates plot holes. And this isn't even the biggest plot hole the stone creates. Last one. Gotta touch the stone. The entire 3rd act of this movie revolves around this rule, trying to touch everyone at once and granting their wishes using a satellite. The satellite uses particle technology to broadcast to every device in the world.
Not scientifically possible!
So why is this movie treating it like everyone is touching each other? Even if you want to say that the particles are touching the people, Maxwell Lord himself isn't. There would be space in between the particles that are fired out. Also, the movie flat out tells you it's not actually touching people.
As in the particles you are sending are touching everything.
It's a figure of speech.
A word or phrase used in a non-literal sense for rhetorical or vivid effect. Used in a non-literal sense. Non-literal.
So yeah, this creates a pretty big plot hole. The movie knows this and does try to address it.
And I sure wish this works for me. Don't you?
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to point this out, but he did not say I wish. He just agreed, possibly breaking the other rule. Some might even say that's a plot hole in and of itself, using a small plot hole to fix a bigger plot hole.
I'll allow it.
I personally don't have a problem with this, but it still doesn't fix the satellite conundrum. In the context of the situation, the US hasn't used the broadcasting system yet, and it hasn't been used on the entire world before, so there are two ways this scenario can be interpreted. The army guy is wishing that they're able to broadcast to the entire world, but everyone's wish can't be granted because figure of speech, remember? Or that the army guy is wishing that the satellite isn't a figure of speech and would allow for the wishes to be granted, aka that this works, and it can't be the latter because he doesn't know about the stone or the rules. We know this is what happens because the movie continues as though it worked, but if it did, then that means Maxwell Lord didn't actually grant his wish, just raising more questions. You see what I mean by the stone causing the most problems for the movie because its powers are inconsistent throughout? And all this was done just talking about its rules. I didn't even mention its consequences, like how the movie should end with nuclear fallout. Though people had renounced their wishes, several real nukes had already been launched. They weren't all wish nukes, and even if they were, they can still be seen blowing up in the atmosphere. Anyways, that's all for this video. My people need me. Until next time.